What's up, everybody? RevSauce9. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notified with things that happen on this channel. Now, I do have a subathon donation thing going on down below in the description. It helps out the channel. So anything obliges. I've hit some financial ruin stuff on the channel, and I just need a little help. So down below in the description for everything to do with me, subathon, things like that. All my streaming links, everything down below in the description. A lot of you don't subscribe to the channel. Be subscribing. Hit that bell icon. You know, make sure to be watching the videos. I appreciate you guys. Everybody that comes by and watches, but be subscribing. Anyway, we're going to get into this because Stephanie Vaquer signs with WWE. WWE has potentially signed the big three women. And a lot of people are not picking up on this. And before, I don't get on X to have arguments. I'm not that much of a degenerate. You have a lot of big names that are on X arguing with Joe Blows on the internet and Jane Does and Jane Blows on the internet. Those are those big names, man. You know who I'm talking about. A lot of them go on Twitter. They say, oh, I don't cause problems. I don't do that. Yeah, they do. They sit there and they write their shitty post. They're part of the degeneracy, man. So I popped on X. I do browse wrestling stuff, and I saw this image here, courtesy of X, and it's kind of the truth. This is what WWE was doing. WWE has gotten one Sasha Banks basically in three wrestlers. Basically, they went out and they signed the big three free agents that could surpass Sasha Banks. And like I said this to you guys a long time ago, WWE does not need Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks needs them to be relevant. WWE just picked up the big three in free agency, starting with Julia. Then it went from Julia to Delta, then it went from Delta to Stephanie Vaquer. They have just retooled their roster for the next 10, 15 years. Like I said, 10, 15 years. They don't need a Sasha Banks. That's why you haven't seen anything from Becky Lynch yet. Is she re-signing? Is she not re-signing? Natalia's on the free agency market at this point. That's why you're seeing a lot of wrestlers kind of looking at their options are not coming back. Because WWE knows how to retool. WWE knows what they're doing. And one thing I'm going to tell you guys this. There was a clause in the CMLL contract of Stephanie Vaquer that I think people are underlooking, and you have people blaming this, blaming that, doing this. You have a lot of these big names blaming this, that, and the third, and it's disgusting on YouTube, man. It just this disinformation, wrong information. It's just been bad. And then you got people on X crying about Stephanie Vaquer not signing with AEW. What is AEW attached to? CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling. You think Stephanie Vaquer was going to sign with AEW? You got another thing coming. She has talked in the past about signing with WWE. She's had tryouts with WWE. I think she was part of the Mae Young Classic at one point. She's had appearances within backstage and within reports and within this. It was a conclusion that she was going to join with WWE. However you want to slice it and dice it. You should be a fan of pro wrestling and be a fan of wrestlers making their money, no matter what company it is. This was a reaction to literally, I'm not going to lie to you guys, to Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, Mercedes Ronaldo. This was a reaction by Triple H. You took my invested talent from me. Now I got to retool. Here we are. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove you wrong, AEW. You don't think AEW and WWE are not competing between each other? You're damn well wrong. And this whole thing with these fanboys and tribalists, I'm sick of it. I see it within group chats. I see it within this. I saw somebody within a group chat going, fuck you, TK, this. It wasn't his fault. Do you guys sitting there blaming TK, right? Some of you sitting there just going, it's TK's fault that he didn't sign Julia or he didn't sign Stephanie Vaquer. Julia was a hook, line, and sinker to go to WWE to begin with that new promotion, ex-Stardom owner. So that was just a foregone conclusion because they've had a great relationship with the ex-Stardom owner, founder. And Stephanie Vaquer's always talked about going to WWE. This is not the first time she has talked to Mexican, to Chilean media and or Latin media, I should say better. It's funny to me how a lot of you sit back and you want to duke it out on what company is better. Just enjoy pro wrestling. Guys, there's a lot of degeneracy. You got a lot of these big names on YouTube saying, I don't get in Twitter feuds. I don't do this on Twitter, but they do. I don't. I could care less about X, Twitter, Mastodon, Reddit, who says what about what. I could care less. It's an open cesspool. If you read some of the comments on X, you read some of the shit that happens on X with this whole deal with Stephanie Vaquer, you're going to lose brain cells just by reading it. I browse it, but I don't care if responding. I may respond to some of the big names because sometimes the big names on YouTube that cover wrestling, their comments sometimes are stupid. So sometimes I'll comment back and sometimes I'll agree with them. But sometimes I throw up a laughing emote because some of the comments that they make are there to trigger fanboys and audience, and they know what they're doing. At the end of the day, I just laugh at these big names, man. Like, they know what they're doing, and then they want to cry foul that they're victims. Stephanie Vaquer, honestly, my thoughts are this. She was going to go to WWE no matter how much AEW was going to offer her. And you don't think WWE is not watching their competition and watching their pay-per-views and watching their shows back to see who they could sign when contract season when their contracts expire? You're in a different planet. You're in a different planet. I'm sorry to tell you this. I'm sorry to tell you that. This happened with WCW and WWE back in the day. And it's just different now. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. And some of you need to fucking grow up in the wrestling community because this is nothing different. Basically, WWE went out and retooled. This is Triple H basically retooling and wrestlers wanting to be in WWE over AEW. That's just the way it is. Am I going to get mad when AEW does the flock if they sign Dijak and Mustafa Ali and Shane McMahon maybe, and this wrestler and that wrestler when AEW does want to sign new talent? No. Vice versa, WWE. I'm happy just wrestlers getting paid, wrestlers doing what they need to do, and we should, as in fans, just respect it and be done and move on. I watch all shows. It makes, with Stephanie Vaquer and Julia and again, Delta showing up in NXT, that's great for their division. WWE just retooled, basically put 3 main event talents, women talents, basically, that could grow in NXT, learn the wrestling style, learn English, all this stuff, and then basically go from there to the main roster and succeed and be multi-time women's champion and WrestleManias and all that. So at the end of the day, what conversation are we having here? People saying they're mad at TK. What are you mad over? These people were going to WWE. They have said it within interviews. They have said this within different forms of media. I don't understand. Are you deaf, blind? What? And you didn't think Triple H wasn't going to sit back and just sit there and allow his one of his main eventers to get signed and get creative power, and you didn't think he was not going to retool? He doesn't need Monet anymore. I'm telling you guys, Monet's stock went down after all this. Monet is not a get for WWE now. They just retooled. They just got their own big 3. He doesn't need Triple H. You don't need Monet. AEW needs Monet more than WWE needs her. That's a fact. That's bottom line. This is why this happened. There was a clause in CMLL. New Japan and CMLL could be salty all they want. She didn't do things the right way. But hey, money's money. When you're getting paid shit and you possibly can live out your dream, you're going to go do it. That's what Stephanie Vaquer did. Stephanie Vaquer had an excellent outing at Forbidden Door. They're saying it was one of the matches of the night. You don't think WWE wasn't looking? They were looking. They signed her to a shit ton of money. She's Probably it's going to help her family. It's going to help her. It's going to elevate her to new heights. Julia, same thing. And Delta, same thing. So at the end of the fucking day, what conversation are we fucking having? And I think a lot of the wrestling community out there reads into things way too much than it needs to be. And I'm sorry that things don't appeal to you, but that's wrestling for you. I didn't get mad over this. I'm happy for NXT. I like NXT. It's a win-win for Triple H. It's a win-win for Shawn Michaels. And if this makes me a WWE shill fanboy because a lot of you spin things about me, then so be it. And when AEW signs major talent, I'll praise that too. Does that make me an AEW fanboy or a shill? Fuck no. None of these companies are paying me checks, by the way, to talk this shit. This is purely my opinion and my love for wrestling. At the end of the day, some of you just need to take a seat and stop this. Stop this bullshit madness and stop this heresy. Really, stop it. You hurt my fucking brain when a lot of you sit back and you fanboy or champion for a product. Be about wrestling. Stop this champion shit. There's no tribalism. Tribalism is motherfucking dead. I can't. And then some of these tribalists try so fucking hard to beat a drum for their company and they look stupid. I see it on X all the time. These talents right here, I've seen about Delta already, Julia, and Vaquer. I've seen about all of these guys. This is the big three. This happened. You don't think Triple H is not sitting back and retooling after what Tony Khan did? You guys need to really go check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's a fact. That's just being honest with you folks. You don't think Triple H wasn't hurt? You don't think Triple H wasn't upset? And another one on the radar. You ready for this one? Jordynne Grace. You don't think Jordynne Grace is not going to be going to WWE? You out of your mind. You think she's AEW bound? Maybe if the right money. Maybe if it's the right money. But Jordynne Grace has had a taste of WWE already. And she's already main event already for them. She can walk right in and be main event. That's a fact. And she's got the physique Triple H is looking for. Shawn Michaels has praised her. I don't think she's staying in TNA very much longer after 2025. I don't think she's re-upping her contract. I don't see that coming. I don't see that one coming. She's staying in TNA. I think she wants to be on WrestleMania. I think she wants to be bigger than light. And I think she's young enough, in her prime, she'll be over at WWE for sure. If AEW really wanted to go after Jordynne Grace, which and you gotta give AEW their credit. AEW turned around and said when Stephanie Vaquer the night after, right, the day after, they were like, they ain't touching that. She's WWE bound. We're not contract tampering. You got to give Tony Khan his credit with that. And then some of you that sit here and say, fuck TK and TK made bad moves, this, that, and the third. They need Stephanie. AEW's got plenty of talent. They're going to live. There's a lot of free agents out there. I believe Natalia's out there. Camille is still out there. Motor Machine Guns are still out there. Supposedly Motor Machine Guns are now going to WWE. There was an article out saying that they were going to go to WWE. So who knows? Everything in the wrestling industry right now is wishy-washy. You got fake reporting. You got a lot of people trying to get views over saying the truth. And again, who am I to say something? But Julia, these three here are WWE bound at this point. And you just might just put Jordynne Grace somewhere here, because Jordynne Grace is going to go to WWE, and I see this happening. Unless she gets paid a shit ton of money by AEW, who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm just speaking my mind here. These are wonderful gets. This replaces pretty much, these big three replace pretty much one Sasha Banks at this point. And they'll do wonderful things. I've said this all along. Julia was a big get for WWE. They wanted her so bad. Where AEW kind of dropped the ball on trying to sign her. Vaquer, she didn't even break the ice with AEW. She walked in, had some conversation, and that was that. she was WWE bound. As the pay-per-view was ending, she was already signing a contract and over at Heat Wave the next day. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is how the wrestling industry works. I'm sick of the fanboys, man. Stop the shit. Stop the fanboying. Stop the championing for said products, because at the end of the day, most fanboys look stupid nowadays. Be a fan of pro wrestling. Be a fan. Enjoy the crossover between TNA and NXT. Enjoy some of the promotions that are crossing over and doing things with said promotions. You know what I mean? Enjoy it. But stop this championing for products and who's going to be who. Okay? There's a reason why WWE is number one in the world and why they're methodical, and there's a reason why. And then there's the AEWs of the world. Not everybody's going to sign with TK. Not everybody's going to sign with Triple H. Not everybody, certain promotions are not going to appeal. Look at Nick Nemeth. He said he's not re-signing with WWE. He's going to end his career doing what he wants to do. And good for him. Same with Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona would like to be back at WWE, but he said he's also happy making a shit ton of money in the indie scene. And again, these three women here, including Jordynne Grace, that's good for WWE. They retool. They're set for the future. WWE's always been about their women's division, uncompared to other companies. And you don't think these women are not looking at AEW and going, the way their women's roster is being treated? Maybe I don't sign over there because I maybe not get shined, or maybe I won't get looked. You ever think about those things? Anyway, that's my pure opinion today. That's my video for wrestling news. I know a lot of you wanted to hear my opinion on Stephanie Vaquer going to WWE. At the end of the day, this is my thoughts. This is what I think of. This is what... I don't care what anybody has to say. Call me a shill. I don't give a fuck what you think. But at the end of the day, this is what's happening. WWE is signing lots and lots of big women talent. I thought for a minute there WWE was going to sign Camille behind that, you know. But the Motor Machine Guns now are rumored to go over to WWE. And hey, you know what? WWE needs tag teams too. So there's that. At the end of the day, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for the latest stuff that comes to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.